It was June of 2016, shortly after the family received the truck. And the truck came into Seymour's garage. Obviously, you can't miss it. It's a beautiful vehicle. We checked it out and gave them a list of things that it needed. That's what they requested. They brought the truck back in about a month, and we did a little bit of that, and then they brought it back again, and we did a little bit of that, and we were doing it, getting the mechanical stuff taken care of, brakes, suspension, things of that nature. And I said, oh, I don't even know what all the story is on that truck.
The history of this truck is very special to our family. My late husband's father bought the truck new here in San Antonio in 1992, and he drove it for many, many years and then passed it on to my husband when we got back from being stationed overseas, and he needed a truck, and so he loved it and drove it to work every day as he flew airplanes for our country, and he loved it. But eventually we had a lot of kids and who were very little, and it didn't fit car seats, and it was starting to break down. And so in 2006 he traded in the truck, and we wouldn't know that he would be deploying 6 months later, and then ultimately we got a knock at the front door after he was gone for 3 months on November 27th of '06, and the uniformed men came to my door and told me, tragically, your husband, Major Troy Gilbert, and his F-16 have gone down in a combat mission west of Baghdad. Earlier that morning, he saved a special operations unit and a battalion, but lost his life in the process. And then as the boys got older and they started driving, I remember the thought crossing my mind, wouldn't it be so great if they had something of their dads like that again? And then I had the privilege of meeting country music artist Lee Brice, and I speak for a charity called the Folds of Honor Foundation, and it's a nonprofit that raises educational funds for children and spouses of our nation's wounded and fallen heroic families. And so Lee was singing at this benefit concert, and I spoke at the intermission, and I don't know what really possessed me, but I just looked over at him and I said, thank you for that song, for I Drive Your Truck, because though it's hard for me to listen to, I wept the first time I heard it. It was put into words beautifully exactly how I felt, because the things are just things when people are alive, but when they're gone, their things become a powerful connection to who they are. And that song just made me feel like I wasn't alone in not just missing my soldier, but missing something that belonged to him. So at the ACMs, the Country Music Awards in Vegas a couple of years ago, I thought I was going to accept a check on behalf of the foundation from Lee Brice, but in fact, my kids and I went on stage with him, and he turned to me and he said, I haven't been able to forget about our conversation last summer. And he said, we all worked together, and I want you to know, and he pulled out keys out of his pocket, that we found the truck. There it was, 25 years later, really in bad shape, but it was Troy's truck, and my son had actually gotten his driver's license the night before. We didn't know what we were going to do with it because it was barely drivable and really falling apart. But that's when a lot of great Americans stepped in, and Iron Cross, an outfitter in Tulsa, Oklahoma, took it and repainted it and put Troy's image and his jet on the back and restored all the seats and the inside, and it was just beautiful to look at. But unfortunately, it still had 25-year-old insides. It had probably 300,000 miles on it, and so we just ended up bringing it into the shop here at Seymour's garage.
And we just hit it off. And from that, we invited them to a nonprofit that we were a part of starting at Seymour's garage. And we invited them to CarFest, and at CarFest we introduced them to Jasper Engines and Transmissions. Jasper came to the table and said, yes, Mark, if you want to put an engine, transmission, and rear end in this, we will donate the product. And so the whole plan was I would donate all the labor, I meaning Seymour's garage, would donate all the labor and all the subsequential parts. And so we did that. And it really fit for a lot of reasons. It fit for where we are with CarFest. It fit for where we are as Seymour's garage, and coming up to our 50th anniversary. So we just found so many aspects that we were comfortable with, that we felt like that was the thing to do.
So now today I get to see it for the first time with new insides to match its new outsides, and it's just going to bless our family really for the rest of our lives. It's just sort of a beautiful thank you note from everyone, from a famous country singer to the guys here in the garage that just work diligently and volunteer their time to put it in, the engine and the transmission. And so I just feel like Troy has to be smiling, you know, and I believe the heart of what he did the day that he gave his life for this country and saved all those troops, that same spirit has come back. The spirit has come back to our family, and I think it's just bringing a lot of people together, which is exactly what Troy did.
We stay very busy around here, and it's difficult to stop sometimes and reflect. So this enabled us to get guys to have a conversation about what we're doing, and for them to know that their place of employment believes in those core values. And so what we actually did was we replaced the engine, replaced the transmission, replaced the differential, and we used one lead person to do that, but we had assistance with other folks between getting the parts, getting the fluids. That way everybody had a little bit of ownership in it. Our core values are simple. They start with integrity and they end with community. And in between there is education and excellence. And we believe that this speaks to all four. It's the integrity of wanting to do something and sticking to what we said we would do. It's helping the community. There's education in this, and then it's practice of excellence.
I think sometimes we watch the news and we think that America isn't the great place it used to be, or that there aren't great people who are about helping other people, and I've just found that not to be true. And Mark, you know, this wasn't a business endeavor that he took. You know, this was a lot of man hours were involved. That he could have been making money. You know, he could have been doing this for somebody who was a regular customer, but he saw our family and knew that, you know, we lost a lot and he wanted to give back. And so for him, for this garage, for everybody that works on this truck, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Michael Guerrero. I'm the operations manager for Austin, Texas, for Jasper Engines and Transmissions. I'm also a prior service military. I was a specialist in the Texas Army National Guard. I just want to say that Jasper, on my behalf and Jasper's behalf, we greatly appreciate the honor that's bestowed upon us to do this for y'all today. And you know, this is just something small that we can show to honor our troops, and you know, the more we can give, the better.
Thank you for letting us be a part of this. This was huge. From when we first thought about it to all the way to the completion of it. And you know, just thank you for thinking of us. There are so many facilities, there are so many repair facilities in the United States of America, and they could have gone to any of them. And just the fact that they came to us and they were working this on a budget so that they could get things taken care of, and never came forward with the story, never expected anything. True love, true care. That's what they bring.
To have the truck come home, that's pretty amazing. The truck's home.